morning. Welcome aboard. We are ready to rock and roll, and we'll have some fun for the next couple of hours here on the program. A bunch of things to talk about today on the show, a bunch of people to talk about today on the show, a bunch of, as a music fan, some amazing news happening yesterday in music. I love it. The Struts are going to be in town at the Revolution Live. I thought the last time I saw them at the Culture Room was like, okay, this is the last time I see them in a small venue, and they're coming back June 9th to the Revolution Live. That's going to be freaking awesome. If you haven't seen the Struts yet, the lead singer has a lot of, what's it called? Damn it, now I'm Freddie Mercury in him. He is one of those kind of entertainers, and he's really, really good. It's a really good band. And to be able to see them, Blue Stones is opening up for them. I have no idea who they are. I'll be there early enough to see the Blue Stones, of course, because you want to get a good spot for the Struts, because that in a place like that to see the Struts, I got to take my wife to that one. I think I'll take her to that one, because she has grown to be a Struts fan now, hanging out with me and listening to the music. So I got a whole bunch of music notes today that we're going to sprinkle in throughout the show. Because you know how it is on this show. We talk pop culture, we'll talk music. Obviously, sports is front and center, as always. And we're sporting a Strikers shirt today. We went a little classic for you to bring out a little Strikers. We got a loaded show for you today. Michelle Kaufman is going to stop by for her Inter Miami segment, speaking of soccer, at 2 o'clock, like she does it every single time. Our first interview of the day will be Jenna Lane. Jenna's been covering the Bucks for a long time for ESPN. She does an excellent job on the beat. She is an ESPN NFL Nation reporter covering the Bucks. So we will have some fun with her. We will talk all things Jameis. I'm sure we'll talk a little Rivers also, because, it's all been kind of linked. And then maybe get her thoughts in free agency. My buddy Tony Jones is going to stop by from The Athletic. He covers the Jazz. Do you know where Miami is tonight? They're in Utah to take on the Jazz, right? So we'll talk to Tony, and we'll get a little preview of the Jazz, since our Heaters are there in town and ready to take them on. It's a 9 o'clock start, so thank the Lord that it's not 10 and 10:30, man. Some of those 10:30 starts, you got to admit, like the Golden State one the other night, man, that one, I was struggling at the end of the game. I will admit. I'm glad they won.
What was the deal with that extra half hour?
What are you talking about?
On the Golden State start.
No, that's just how it is on the West Coast. It's either 10 or 10:30. 7 or 7:30.
Right.
It's the same thing in the East Coast, 7 or 7:30. There are games that start at 7, games that start at 7:30. Some places start at 10, and some places start at 10:30. It's
not
just
caring about the East Coast here. Let's make it 10:30.
No, well, because it's 7:30 for them. That's why. So some
make it at 7 o'clock.
Maybe some of those places can get away with 7 because of their traffic not being that bad, and maybe some people put it at 7:30 because their traffic is that bad to get there. And I've lived in San Francisco. It's a mission.
I can imagine with the trolleys and all, and the ups and the downs and the hills and
it's a major metropolis.
Is it there also a lot of one-way roads as well? No. Okay.
No, but I'm sure. But during the afternoon drive, it's busy, man. It's busy.
Los Angeles,
yes,
mini Los Angeles,
yes, and what connects, what connects on. Oh, damn it! What's NorCal? Help me out there where the bridge that goes from San Fran out to Oakland, where the BART goes and all that. That there's always traffic to go there and back. I forgot the name of that freaking highway, but that one is a pain in the ass. And so, yeah, it's I can see why they go 10:30 there. And then some places, you're in Sacramento, maybe they do it at 10 because, it's just cow pastures. So it's not the same thing, Sacramento and and Golden State. You know, Golden State is a metropolis, man. That's a mission there. So what do we got there in the morning already? We got a bunch already chiming in, which we always appreciate all of you out there locking it in on YouTube. As always, remember you can reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. I've got a bunch of things. Remember, we haven't gotten big into free agency with the Dolphins because a lot of you have been asking, hey, we should sign this guy or that guy. And I keep telling you, well, let's wait till the decisions are made. Let's wait till free agency is about to open and we know who's been tagged and not, right? All right. I've had enough of this kind of, requests and things like that. So I'm going to give you a couple players that the Dolphins could be targeting in free agency to spend a little money, okay? Since some of you love to spend money, I'll give you a couple targets, actually, that sound realistic or could be realistic for the Miami Dolphins. I want to get into, obviously, the Panthers' win last night. Some other news going on with some NFL teams. XFL, we got a little controversy. We got somebody that finally was found guilty and deserved to be guilty in a big-time way. We've got contract installments in the NFL. I got a bunch of music news that I want to get to. We got some great guests also. But I want to get into a little baseball, but not the game itself, about the game. And Trevor Bauer. I got to tell you, Trevor Bauer is quickly becoming one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball because, one of the things that I have a problem with baseball is I think when we look at baseball, I kind of imagine that people don't get it in baseball. I know the owners don't get it. I know the general managers don't get it, most of them. And I was explaining it to Mike Hill, too. And I think he kind of understood what I was talking about. But I think a lot of the old, stodgy, white dudes probably don't get it and all that. And I think a lot of the baseball players, they may not be quick enough to understand what's going on with their game. Trevor Bauer realizes it. He realizes that there's a toilet bowl, and baseball is like going round and round and round on that toilet bowl and just going lower and lower and lower until it gets completely flushed out. Right? And I've talked several times about what you need to do in baseball. Trevor obviously was pissed with the new rules they came out. Let's hear from Trevor Bauer, okay? I want you to hear from Trevor Bauer and listen to a lot of the things that he'll say. We'll stop it along the way so we can make some points. But this is a couple minutes, and I love the passion behind this. I love the common sense behind all of this. I think it's just really, really freaking cool the way Trevor Bauer expressed himself in this video because it needs to be said. Not a lot of guys have the balls to say it. I would think most of them aren't smart enough to figure it out. I just get a feeling that baseball players are happy cashing their checks. And I'm talking about the older ones, okay? Young players, because I got to sit down with Jazz, and I got to sit down with Monte, and I got to, to sit down with Duggar and all these other guys and Steckenrider. And I think because they're young guys, they kind of get it. Let's hear from Trevor Bauer on his response to, of course, Rob Manfred and their stupid-ass ideas.
Really, really upset about this new ridiculous playoff policy that Rob Manfred has suggested or proposed or leaked. I don't even know how it got on the internet. I don't know why it would even get on the internet. It's that ridiculous. Like, just reading through it without even thinking about it for a second, they're just wrong. Like, who put this out without thinking of the fact that the best team in the league is going to get a 6-day layoff, a 7-day layoff, while we sort out this whole 3 games here and this wild card, and we're going to pick our opponent, and we're going to do this whole reality TV stuff. Meanwhile, the best team in baseball is sitting at home waiting for all this crap to transpire. God forbid someone's ace pitches 4 days before the end of the regular season and then has 10 days in between starts. And this isn't football where you can heal up and that helps. Like, being on a routine is so important in baseball. We play for 6 months, and now you're going to say at the most critical time of the year that we're going to get 10 days off maybe, or the 6 days in between games, and who knows how the pitching rotation lines up and all this different stuff, and that's supposed to be a benefit? That's supposed to be the best team in baseball gets this benefit? These are just some things that come off the top of my head. The first time I read through the proposal, I haven't even had time to think about this.
Now, he's 1,000% right. Baseball's a rhythm sport. And it's happened many, many times when guys come off injuries or they have any kind of time off. It happens at the beginning of the season. A lot of players are cold with their bats. They're not, in a groove. Pitchers aren't in a groove. It happens. It takes them a little while to get some innings in, to get their flow going. And the same thing with batters. They haven't seen pitches. You know what I mean? Even in spring training, they're not seeing regular season effort like. You know what I'm saying? Guys in spring training are working on stuff. They're working on a curve. They're working on a forkball. They're working on a slider. They're working on their fastball. And they're testing stuff out during spring training. Plus, they're not really completely stretched out. And so there's a process. And he's right. I mean, he should know. He's a baseball player. But 10 days, think about that part. That if you give him a week off, but if your ace had pitched a couple of days before that guy's going to be off for 10 days. And you just don't know how you're going to respond. And he's right. It's not football that you want to, heal up and all of that. And in football, you might be a little off the first series or something or two. But after that, you're going. You're gone. You're ready to go. And again, these are stupid things that baseball comes up with. Now, I want you to listen to him as he expresses himself because he focuses in on the right things. One of the things that I love about doing this job, and one of the things that I think separates me a lot from a lot of the people that do this job is they'll say, fire the coach. Just like a lot of the fans, fire the coach. But they won't have a solution. Right? Like for years, I would tell you, fire this GM, go hire Alonzo Highsmith. And I gave you several other names too back in those days. I didn't just tell you, fire Tannenbaum. I didn't just tell you, fire Ireland. No. I told you, hire Alonzo Highsmith. Last year, I didn't just tell you, fire Gase and Tannenbaum. I told you, fire Gase, Tannenbaum, and put Greer in place. I usually have... I don't tell you, no, you got to get rid of this quarterback, but I'll tell you who you got to draft. You know what I mean? I usually give you a solution to something. You know what I'm saying? Baseball, I've done it already. I've given you solutions. And that's what I do that's a lot different than most of the people on air. Like today, I'm going to give you a couple of free agent targets for the Dolphins. Anybody else do that? Of course not, because they're not going to do their homework. And they don't know enough people or whatever. They're not going to be able to get the information. So I get all of that. But my point is, most people that are on air or even writing, yeah, they'll complain and bitch, but they won't have a solution to the problem. Okay? Because that's usually what comes with it. Well, if you're going to get rid of this person, for who? Who are you going to get? Right? When I tell you, I don't want Tua, but if you want Tua, then I tell you, get this guy. And I give you a couple names. Right? So Bauer, I love the fact that he didn't just bitch. And he'll continue to bitch now. But he also gave you solutions, which is what I love. Go for it.
You know what? Let me mention one other thing. The number one team, usually in the division, okay? Like the Dodgers, they didn't play a competitive game the last 2 weeks. It's not even a week before.
Right.
You're talking about usually they got a 4 or 5 game lead in the last week, 10 days doesn't. So you're going to make it like 15 to 20 days.
Well, yes and no, because if the manager knows you're working to that, you'll play your guys down the stretch to keep them as game ready as possible.
You're going to be the one, right.
As a manager, you have to have that foresight in order to see that coming. So then, okay, I'm going to give you a week off anyway. So whatever, I got to get you out there, and the player will want to play.
Of course, yes.
Unless there's an injury involved, and then that's where the time becomes beneficial for you, only for injury purposes. Guy's got a hamstring. You know what? I'm glad I can give him an extra week off. I could get that hammy ready, and he can run the bases for me. That kind of stuff. Let's continue with Trevor. Let's try to continue.
I just read it like an hour ago, and I just am so beside myself with Rob Manfred and his ridiculous rule changes that he keeps proposing. We're going to move the mound back 2 feet. We're going to have a 3-batter minimum. We're going to get the games under 3 hours because that's what fans want. Fans don't care if the game is 2 hours and 57 minutes or 3 hours. The reason that you wanted to do that in the first place is because all the people that own media companies that own baseball teams are the ones that voted you in as commissioner in the first place. So you're protecting them. So in that case, you should probably know something about media. You should probably understand what people are connecting with. Since those are the people that voted you in as commissioner, you should probably understand.
Let me interject here. He's right. He's right. I mean, look, man, if you're a baseball fan, it's not about time. I've never been the person that complains about time. Okay? Just like I've never been the person that says, well, I don't want instant replay because it delays the game. No, dude, get the call right. Get the call right. I've been covering this stuff for 30 years now. I've been in locker rooms a lot. Okay? I've dealt with players, with coaches, with the front office people. I know how hard they work, man. I know how hard you work. I know how hard I work. Do you want people to get things wrong around you? No. Man, I've worked in radio, which I've worked with a lot of idiots. Okay? I mean, morons. Last 2 places I've been to, wow. Okay? I mean, just people that are they don't belong anywhere in our business. So I don't want to see a referee make a bad call. So I'm glad, take an extra 60 seconds. Take an extra 2 minutes to diagnose the play, the replay, get it right. Baseball is the same way, man. If the pitcher's on the mound and he's pitching lights out at 150 miles an hour and striking everybody out, and we're out in 220, great. We're out in 240, that's great. If there were pitching changes because there was a lot of hits and home runs and we're out in 315, it is what it is, man. That's baseball. There's no clock here. Just let's play the game. Let's have some fun. And he's right. That stuff of 3 hours is not really so much about the fans. It's really more about these TV companies that they want you to stay within the 3 hours so you can keep them inside that time block. Because then when you start going over, then you start pushing back other programming, and they're like, well, we've got to join this regularly scheduled program in progress. All that kind of crap that they're worried about. And so you're trying to appease somebody else when what you should be doing is what's best for the game.
Understand something about media. So I don't want to rant too much, but God, I just had to get this off my chest. And I want to focus on some solutions, some things we can do in media. Like, Rob, if you understood media, maybe as the commissioner of baseball, you could solve some of these things. Like how in one of your biggest markets, half the fans can't even watch the damn game because of TV deals. Like, I grew up, what got me into baseball is I grew up going to see one Dodger game a year. I'd go to one a year. We didn't have money to go to more than that. I'd sit out in the bleachers. We'd listen to Vince Scully on the radio with my dad. But we watched Dodger games all the time. I was sitting in bed at night watching Dodger games. This is what got me into baseball. Half the people in local markets have blackouts. They buy the MLB package to watch their favorite team, and they can't even watch their favorite team half the time. I know that's not all on Rob, but as the commissioner, figure it out, man. Like, how are we supposed to spread the game? How are we supposed to get people interested, young people, the missing generation of baseball fans? How are we supposed to get them interested in the game when they can't even see the damn game?
And I think he's alluding to the problem with Yes Network. I think there's a lot of people, I think in New York, that have that there's a cable thing or something like that with Yes. And that's happened throughout the country. Some of it is not on Rob. He's right. But you got to these are the things that can't happen. You can't have those kind of issues with your sport. You got to be able to feed the masses so you can try to bring in the biggest audience possible. Continue.
And on top of that, they can't even go to Twitter where all the young people hang out. You can't even go to social media and see anything about the game. Steph Curry throws a bounce pass in an NBA game, and it's trending with 1.5 million views 5 minutes later, and Mike Trout goes and launches himself and robs a homer or something, and you can't find the highlight anywhere online. It's ridiculous.
Now, I think I've mentioned this several times. I mentioned it also to I think it was to Monty. We were talking about this, and I mentioned it to Mike Hill also. Social media, man. Social media. It's how you connect with people. That's how you get your news. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you'll get news before anybody, because Twitter will break it right away, because every resource, every media outlet is on Twitter. That's where they first break it. Then they go into their radio, TV, cable, magazine, newspaper, and then they break it, radio station, whatever. Schefter breaks it first on Twitter, then he goes on ESPN, because if he goes on ESPN, if he waits to go on ESPN, somebody else might beat him to put it on Twitter. It'll be Rappaport beating him. Right? You know, it's just that's you might want to fix the camera, bro. There we go. Anyway, so the
Getting a tighter shot for you, brother.
Yeah, they don't want anything tight with me, bro. There's nothing tight with me. Okay, the last thing they want is me. But the Twitter thing, like, I got to get this idiot involved, and it's like he's completely lost in this world.
Hey, the night
because he's not even connected to social media. He's barely connected to. He's like on a, and I'm trying to convince him that, hey, in this business you won't survive without it.
The night you broke Minka, 1 minute later the guy from Pittsburgh threw it up.
Yeah, right.
Literally 1 minute difference.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how it is. But you got to get it out there as soon as possible. You know, it's just weird, man. The way, but you got it. This is our world, and it's amazing. He's right. Steph can do whatever, and it's all over social media. You got Embiid and Jimmy Butler and the Sixer fans and all, and it's a story. Does that ever happen in baseball? No, but it should. It needs to happen in baseball. Guys need to go at each other, have some fun with it, not hit each other, not throw at their heads, bro. That's not what they're doing in basketball and football and soccer. They're having fun. Think about this. Trevor Bauer has created more buzz for baseball on social media by ripping his own sport than anything else. And you know how many fun things you can do in baseball with social media? I mean, give me a break, dude. The catches against the wall, the running of the bases, the home runs, the great hits, the funny catches by fans in the stands, guys going into the stands trying to catch foul balls. There's so many things going on, the goofiness that goes on in the dugout with them wearing their hats one way or the other, or chewing gum or spitting and whatever. And
blowing a bubble and put it on top of a guy's hat.
Yeah, whatever. All the dumbass things that they do in baseball. There's 162 games. There's a lot of dead time, which creates a lot of just stupidity. Right? I mean, that's just the way it rolls. So if you're going to do this, then you got to do it the right way. And you gotta be a part of the world. And in basketball, they get it. And when Iguodala, doesn't want to play for Memphis, and Steph Curry tweets out about how Memphis and all this is treating Iguodala, and he puts up championships with Iguodala, and then Ja Morant tweets out to Steph, and he puts out Kevin Durant. No, dude. Yeah, you won a championship with Draymond. I get that, but this is why you won. In a way, it's kind of sending, no, dude. It's this guy, and this is the fun stuff that becomes a thing that is viral, and everybody's talking about it. Did you see this whole thing with Iguodala and Steph Curry and the youngster Ja Morant is getting in on it because he's the leader of that basketball team now as a 19-year-old. These are things that you never, ever see in baseball. And we got to get to it because he just said it. Trevor just said it. That's where your young people are. It's harder to get the old people like this idiot on social media because they're intimidated 99% of the time with social media because they don't know what the hell to do when they get in there. That's what happens to older people. Oh, what's a podcast? How do I download it? How do I find it? What's social media? What's Instagram? What's Facebook? What's Twitter? What's WhatsApp? And that's the problem. A lot of your baseball fans are old. They're my age or older. And I know that I'm like one of the freaks at my age, that I'm social media active and that I understand it and all of that, but I have to. How would I survive in this business? You got to have it. It's got to be part of you work in a news agency, you got to have a Twitter handle, man. You work in promotions, you got to have a Twitter handle. You work in sales, you got to have a Twitter handle. You work in radio and TV, Twitter, you got to have it. Instagram, you got to have it.
Being a Yankee fan, there's one guy that sends out a little thing every night after the game, emojis. Didi Gregorius.
Right.
The Philadelphia Philly fans will see. And the thing is, there's not even interaction. There might be another player that, hey, Bob, what? That's it. But it's so not, like that could start something, and it does, like it goes nowhere. And Didi almost does it every night. He's kind of creative, throws out
he's young.
Little emojis and stuff.
Young.
And the Philly fans will see it. It's fun, but yeah.
He's young.
And the post game every night would make it a point to pop up Didi's comments.
Young people have to start it, but baseball has to allow it. And baseball has to get away from their stupid ass unwritten rules, bro.
I think they're too, there's still that crotchety element that's still holding. And that's like why one person didn't vote for Jeter. That is a perfect example.
It's
that crotchety,
killing the sport.
Retarded.
It's killing the sport. Yeah. The MLS will pass up baseball in 2030.
They are their own worst enemy, man.
10 years from now, baseball will be the fourth sport in this country, and the MLS will move up to number 3. Okay? It's already number 4. It's already ahead of hockey. It's already got a larger fan base than hockey. That's not even up for argument. Okay? And when it comes to young people, forget about it.
There are some cities. I would say Atlanta. I am sure that the soccer team, they outdraw the basketball team.
The Flames and the Thrashers combined, okay, which are the two different teams that were there, that combined never drew what the United drew in one season. Combined. You can get 82 games combined with those two teams, and they didn't outdraw the Atlanta United. But that why? Because young people forget about they don't care about hockey. Hockey's way down the totem pole already at this point. Hockey's behind the MMA. All right? I mean, it's so far behind it's not even funny.
You didn't even say UFC, you said MMA.
Yeah, MMA. yeah. Bellator passed him up. I mean, it just and they have no presence on social media either. At all. Let's continue with Trevor Bauer here.
That Baseball Advanced Media that was designed to just centralize all MLB content and force people to pay to have access to it. Great, you made a lot of money up front, but you centralize all this content, you make people pay for it, and you know what you get? You get a missing generation of fans. You make some money up front, great, and you miss a generation of fans, and the game is losing popularity, and especially amongst young people. I mean, let's not even talk about like the shoes, the cleats. Oh, hey, Mike Clevenger, you can't wear those shoes that are colorful that everybody on Twitter likes because it violates our stupid cleat policy where you get 3 colors of cleats. Like, I mean, what does it even matter? Just let the players express themselves. Let it have some personality. You want to market the game? Don't change it. Don't make the mound 62 feet. Don't make playoffs where you have to pick your opponent and freaking whatever. Don't change the game. Market the players. You have more players in baseball than any other league with much more diverse backgrounds worldwide, more so than any of the other major American sports. And it's the least marketable. It's because you make stupid decisions about how you market the players. You don't open it up. Let content go. Get it out there.
How can you argue with any of that right there? It's impossible. They don't know how to market their stars. The NBA does. And that's what you got to do with baseball, man. You got to market the players. It's funny because when some of us were laughing at Jose Lima and it's Lima time, and when we see Ricky Henderson now, and we remember that, this is what is important. Those moments, we had to build on those moments. We needed the more of the Ricky Hendersons of the world, the guys that brought the flash to the game. I mean, the day that Babe Ruth called his shot, little did you know that that's what you needed 100 years later.
We don't even know if it's true or not.
Well, whatever.
But it's most remembered.
But that's what you need in this game. You need those kind of moments. You got to call your shot. You got to swing, and then when you swing like with style with Ricky, and then you like flip that bat and you have that little hop, and then you start strutting. That's fine, bro. I'm good. And you know what? Start blaring on the speakers all over the place. Bob Seger strut. Whatever. I don't care. Let's have fun with it. It's a great thing. When Mariano's coming out to enter Sandman, my Lord, that's just like one of the coolest things ever in the history of baseball.
My dad knows who's Metallica is because of that.
Right. I mean, it's just awesome. But these are moments that they don't have enough of because they're not marketing the game. Back in the day, we had that commercial with Bird and Magic and McDonald's, and they were challenging each other. Well, dude, why aren't we doing that in baseball? Why aren't we getting Didi Gregorius and Mike Trout in a commercial? And they're having fun at the ballpark and trying to do trick hits or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Something simple. Sammy sprinting out to right field.
Yeah.
Just that little simple thing.
Yeah. Hey, when Ozzie Smith used to come out to the infield and do the flip, that was like everybody was, when you would watch Ozzie Smith run onto the field, you were, okay, he's going to do a flip. He's going to do a flip, boom. Those were little things. You know how much that could have gone viral nowadays? That flip from Ozzie Smith? These are things that, it's all stupid little things, but that's what Twitter is. That's what social media is. Silly little things that you do. And people like it because it shows personality. It shows color to the game. And the problem is baseball's boring, stodgy, stupid, unwritten rules. It's just stuff that just it doesn't make any sense. And what was it? Cyndi Lauper years ago sung that girls want to have fun. Well, people just want to have fun, not just girls. Okay, people just want to have fun. And we're not having enough fun watching baseball.
You know what's one?
We need to have fun.
Superstitions, all the players having like every time this guy has to touch the line, the way he hops in like 80 of
That's
them over
it.
the seat. Just little stupid stuff, like you're saying.
Don't drink Joe Boo's liquor, bro, because then you're gonna be screwed. Let's finish here with Trevor Bauer.
Quit with this stupid cleat policy, the stupid BAM policy, blackouts all over the place. And that's just dealing with content that we already have available. Where's the innovation in content? Where's the next thing that's going to draw fans in? Who's innovating? Who's creating something new? Who's trying to identify with the young fans? God, it's frustrating, man. I don't know. I got so much more to say on this, but I can't waste all my time on just pointless crap that's not going to change. So, Rob, if you're watching this video, you probably won't because you don't even have a pulse on the game that you're commissioner of. But if you're watching this video, like, you want to talk about some stuff, you want some recommendations, hit me up. I'm sure you can get in contact with me. I'm sure you'll probably be finding me or something like that.
I'm sure you can contact me. I'm sure you'll be finding me for this stuff, because all I'm doing is spewing logic. So, of course, let me just, because, again, it's just moving the mound and the best team is going to pick their opponents in the playoffs. And they come up with these stupid things that are not going to improve the game at all.
I love the way you called it reality show crap.
Yeah, it's just garbage, man. Entertain, dude. You don't need to speed the game up. You don't need to do any of that. Entertain. By the way, football games are over 3 hours, and it's the number one sport in this country by miles and miles and miles. And all they do is review more, and all they do is give their coaches more challenges, and it's extending the game, and it's more commercials and all of that. And guess what? It doesn't stop us. I didn't even get to it yesterday because, of course, I always do this. Super Bowl audience, remember it was at 103 million? The total audience now figured in was 135 to 140 million when they figured in bars. How about that? So it went up to 135 to 140 million is what they feel. Like when they were watching televisions, it was 103. But when they figured in all the people at parties and bars and all that, they think it's right around 135 to 140 million. Remember, there's 330 million people in this country. So nearly half the people were watching football. Okay? About 40%, let's say. 40% of this country was watching the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl takes forever, dude. And the halftimes are forever. And we're watching. We're watching because we love it. We can't have enough of it. You know?
Look, as a Yankees, Red Sox, and a Yankee fan, you go in and man, if you're under 4 hours, you're lucky. It's usually on the other side of 4:30.
But it's Yankees Red Sox.
Exactly.
And it has plenty of drama behind it. Imagine if you added fun to it. Wow. What a concept. What a concept. And remember, Yankees Red Sox is living off of their fan bases, their old fan bases. Even a rivalry like that will die if you don't revive the game. All right, let's take a break because obviously we've gone a little over here. But great stuff from Trevor Bauer.
You know what's one point that you keep bringing up that I do want to totally pound? There's plenty of time in baseball to do this stuff. It isn't like there's a bunch of time in between pitching and all the, you know what I mean? There's plenty of time to do this.
Yep. I got to tell you, you know what I would do? I would hire a couple of social media coordinators for every team. And all they do is walk around with cameras and film stuff and take pictures of stuff that goes on all the time throughout the pregame, the game, and the postgame. Stuff, of course, that isn't, private or anything that's going to, insult anybody, but fun stuff that happens, plays, whatever. And they're constantly posting it on
stuff
social
that teams can't use to cheat. Is that what you?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if somebody's picking their nose or something, or they're having a serious conversation, and you happen to record like the animated part of it, and you're
picking his seat, picking his jock out of his.
Yeah, I'm just saying stuff that you won't get anybody in trouble with. You know what I'm saying? So all the fun stuff you can actually do. And I would do that. I would just have it posted all the freaking time, man. All the pies and all that stuff, that should be on every time. Whatever they do to players at the end of games that are the game of, the player of the game, and they throw Gatorade and pies and water and whatever else crazy ass thing they come up with, that all should be filmed. That all should be posted. That all should have animation to it. That all should have some kind of production to it. Music, whatever. Go the extra mile, baseball. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. At Toyota of Hollywood, they go the extra mile. 1841 North State Road 7. They got over 1,500 cars and trucks. We're going to be there broadcasting live tomorrow, 1841 North State Road 7. When you need a Toyota, I need you to go to Toyota of Hollywood, and you got to tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. I promise you, at Toyota of Hollywood.
Look, he's really been working at the...
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodzie now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accident.
Thinking about buying a
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accident.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodzie now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
All righty, we are back. We take you till about 3 here on the program. Jenna Lane will be joining us at 12:30, and we'll talk a little Bucks with her. We'll find out what's going on with Jameis. We'll also ask her about Phillip Rivers. We'll ask her also about the draft, what she thinks the Bucks will do in the draft. Tony Jones, my buddy who covers the Jazz for The Athletic. So we'll talk a little Jazz and Heat, since the Heat are visiting the Jazz tonight. We'll go around the NBA. At 2 o'clock, the one, the only, the great one, Michelle Kaufman will be joining us. So we'll talk all things Inter Miami with Michelle Kaufman at 2 o'clock. A little soccer for you. So we'll get into I guess the name of the team now is that whole thing is heating up now, right? Remember, you can always reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. Let me see what we got here on the chat board here at YouTube. Let's check in because there's a bunch. Flipside Fishing is checking in. So is Ian from Brooklyn. Good morning. And Ty also chiming in. We appreciate it. Gorilla J. Walker saying what's up. Let's see. Peter says, Big O, Dayton covered. Lucky the bookie was right. All right. Well, then Dayton covered. Nice job by Lucky. What else do we have here? Talk about the Bengals putting the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming draft available. I'm not sure that's true. Where is that true? I don't believe any of that. When the Bengals come out to say that they're taking offers for it, that's fine, but I don't see anything credible saying that they're trying to trade the pick. I don't see that. So when it happens, Ty, then we'll talk about it. Okay? But the hypothetical BS, bro, go to another show for that. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Let's see what else. And I'm not trading, 3 first-rounders for the guy either. I'm not doing any of that stupid-ass stuff. Let's see what else. Ty also says most of the Dodger fans can't see their games throughout Southern California, not Yes Network. Oh, so it's the Dodger one. Okay, there you go. I knew there was something going on with one of them. And that's terrible, too, that they can't see it. NorCal says, good morning, Big O. Draft party at Tommy Rockers is all set. I'll post details here first. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for Fins Vegas 2020. Hashtag Fins Vegas 2020. So there you go for all of you if you want to chime in and get your reservations. Let's see. Do you think Joe Burrow will do an Eli? Corey Everin, we have talked about that already. It's not going to fly on that team. If you want, go back to the podcast and you'll see. I've explained it. Mike Brown doesn't allow stuff like that. SoFlo fan says hello to everybody. Dominic Veluso says, what's up? Monaco says, how about the Panthers last night? Yeah, they beat a crappy team. Not impressed. Whatever, bro.
A little props to them. They had made some changes in New Jersey's front office, and I think they were 3-0-3 in their last 6, so they hadn't lost.
It's a bad team.
But they were playing better.
It's a bad team. They're one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. This is why when they were on that streak, go back and look at that streak. Go look at it.
Oh, when they won 7 out of 8 or whatever it was.
Go look at those teams that they beat, most of them. Mediocre teams.
Yeah, it was none of the big 5 now, like you said, Columbus.
Big 8 now. Okay? Very little of anything with substance. You guys, it's like, you don't get it. Whatever. Panthers, that team's got nothing, bro. Team's got nothing. They got no balls, no guts, nothing. They don't got defense. They don't have consistent goaltending. They don't have a really good general manager either.
If you were to make some changes, though, which way would you get some defensemen? Obviously,
I would. At this moment, I'm starting to think you need to revamp the whole team already. You got to redo everything.
Did you like the change last night of putting Matheson on the offensive end instead of defense? Like,
dude, we're in game 50-something. You're still figuring out your lineups? Seriously?
Well, that's
Seriously, we're halfway through we're more than halfway through the season right now at this point.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
they're like basketball; they play the same number.
Okay, so you're still figuring out your lineups. You still don't know what line is what line. Really? You can't get consistent goaltending? You can't get consistent defense? I mean, folks, I'm sorry, I'm done.
A little bit on the team.
If you want honesty, then you come here. Now, if you want fluff, go to 560 and 790. They got to kiss their ass. I don't do that here. Okay? I don't do it here. And I get along great with the owner. And I'll tell the owner exactly what's wrong with his team. You can ask him. Okay? And I get along great with them. Do you know why? Because when I tell them something, they can't argue with me on it because they know it's true. They're the ones that tell me, you're right. What are you going to do? You know, so if you're impressed beating that team last night, you have low standards. Doesn't mean anything to me, bro. Devils suck. This isn't Martin Brodeur and the Devils from 10 years ago, bro.
Claude Lemieux.
Yeah, forget it. All right? Let's see. Check out Barstool Sports. It's buzzing right now. Really, dude? That's where you're going for your news? That's where you go to screw off. Not for news, bro. I love Barstool as in fun stuff, not substance, bro. That you don't get news from there, Ty. If that's your news, bro, I'm sorry, but wow, you're desperate, man. Okay, that you're so desperate for some positive Dolphins news, you're going to Barstool. I like Barstool personally, but that's not what it's about. It's not a news source.
That's a comedic source, not
it's fun, man. It's not
substance source.
Yeah. And Peter's asking me about Jay Bouwmeester, which he goes, did you see the guy that had a heart attack? And his name is Jay Bouwmeester, bro. He was drafted by the Panthers years ago. It's a first-round pick by them.
Hell of a player for years, man.
Yeah, he was
17 years in the league, I think, now.
Yeah. He's like, I think the fifth most games in the
I did
NHL
see that. Yep.
Or something like that. It was scary, man. He collapsed yesterday. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with Bouwmeester and the Blues family there. That was and they ended up postponing the game right after that. I mean, you could his teammates.
They're not leaving Los Angeles. They're staying right there.
Well, overnight at least, or at least staying through today to find out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything yet to see if there's anything new on it.
The Blues did say last night, the last thing I saw about 1:30, they were going to make an announcement this morning when they had some info.
Yeah, but they it says he's still going tests after cardiac episode is what it says. 2 hours and 50 minutes ago, they gave an update at an hour and 50 minutes ago. It says Bouwmeester hospitalized and undergoing test early Wednesday after suffering a cardiac episode and collapsing on the bench during the first period of the Blues game against the Ducks. The team said in a statement the 36-year-old was conscious and alert. Blues general manager Doug Armstrong said Bouwmeester was awake, alert, and moving his arms and legs as he was transported to the arena. The Blues were supposed to fly to Vegas, where they are scheduled to play on Thursday, but remained in Southern Cal overnight. The team's expected to provide an update on his condition Wednesday morning. So we are still waiting all of that. And hopefully it'll be good news with Bouwmeester. But, yeah, that was scary, man. It's scary. It's just, it's almost like you have to appreciate every moment that you wake up, every day that you wake up, because you just don't know when they're going to come calling for you, man. You have no idea when is your last day. None. There are people like Keith Richards that can beat up their bodies forever and they last forever, and then you just never know. And what was it? What's his Paterno? Paterno was a guy that was living with cancer and coaching. And then you took football away from him, and then his life ended right after that. It's a weird thing, man. We just never know. And the good thing, it wasn't Bouwmeester's time yesterday, and he hopefully will survive this. I hope he's able to go back to doing what he loves in playing hockey. I hope this is something that was just, It's one of those things that you'll never have to experience again, hopefully in his case. But look at Kobe and everybody in that helicopter. Do you think when they got in that helicopter, they knew that it was going to be their last day? That was the last thing in their minds that they were thinking. They were just going to an event at that time. They were headed to a basketball game, And I just feel like since I had my 5 stents put in my heart, every day I wake up, I'm just grateful, man. And I take every day like a freaking hurricane, work my ass off, and try to make the most out of every day that I can, because I don't know when my last day is. I have no idea. So that's the one thing that I would tell you from any of these situations. Enjoy every day. Maximize it as much as you can, because you have no idea when that last moment is. And hopefully with Jay, he's got plenty more to go, and maybe and plenty more with the Blues, I hope, that he's able to play. But, yeah, that was scary. You felt it right away from the reaction, especially I don't know the name of the gentleman that was literally standing right next to him on the bench.
The look on his face, man, like now.
He was terrified.
Now.
He was terrified. Terrified. Because obviously he saw what was going on, and it scared the crap, like it would scare any of us. If you watch your teammate, your friend, your brother, your whatever collapse right there, you're going to freak out right away. So, yes, definitely. I saw it, and definitely prayers to former Panther Jay Bouwmeester.
Scary thought. A lot of people were saying that this guy is the epitome of physical conditioning, great health, works out he doesn't slack.
Like I said, bro, you don't know when your last day is. You could be Keith Richards, and he's the opposite of Jay Bouwmeester. And he's going to outlive Jay Bouwmeester. There's no way Bouwmeester lives as long as Keith Richards. There's no way you and I live as long as Keith Richards. Okay? Most of us would have died in the 70s already by the time we would have done everything that Keith Richards did. And yet somehow his body has withstood everything that he's like, you know what? I'll give up smoking now.
Now he's going to die. That's what's been keeping him alive.
Any of those hills that we run into here in South Florida where they have dump sites and it's all grass, that's about the amount of cigarettes that guy has smoked in a month. And there he is. He's like rocking. No problem. It's amazing. Really is amazing. And that's what tells you. When that dude up there says, yo, I need you up here right now, you have no idea when it is. So take advantage and appreciate every single day with your family, your friends, your work, your career, all the things that you love to do, your dogs, your cats, whatever it is that inspires you, man. Enjoy it, because you just don't know when it's going to end. Let's see, what else do we have? Mike Monaco says, Marlins make the playoffs this year. I'm calling it now. Put my name on it. All right, Monaco, we'll put your name on it. Always enjoy the baseball talk. MLB Brass believes that any changes damages the purity of the sport. Name one thing that survives that doesn't evolve. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Things have changed in football, and it survives. And so in basketball, it's not nearly as physical as it used to be, and it survives. So it's a different game. We have to adjust. I just said it on Monday. I love the XFL kickoff. I think it needs to be implemented in high school and in college like right away. Like right now. Like this season, they need to implement that. That was freaking genius. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go see what the new XFL kickoff is like. It eliminates the big-time collisions that obviously will create concussions, yet it still has the excitement of the return, because if it's not blocked properly, he go.
It actually has brought back returns.
Yes. Great
okay?
point.
You know?
Great point, because they don't allow you. Well, they do it. You could do it, but if you kick it out of bounds or you kick it through the end zone, they start at the 35. But the way they force you to return, it's a great point by Bill. That's what I love the entire element of it. And I'm telling you, high school and college need to implement it like right freaking now. Like the state of Florida should look at that and say that we got to protect our athlete. I got to tell you something.
It brings action and eliminates injuries.
Yeah, yes.
Win-win.
Yeah. Much less injuries, because obviously we're still going to have something. It's football.
Yes.
But the collisions, they're minimized.
The big-time collision.
Completely minimized. Completely minimized. And let me tell you, fathers, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, guardians that are watching high school kids and they get concussed out there on the field, that's got to be terrifying. High school football, especially Florida, please implement these kickoffs right away. Great job by them, man.
How do you like the extra points? You get to choose how far you are,
how
many points you go for.
1, 2, and 5?
4 is 1.
1, 2, and
5
3?
is 2, and 10 is 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, yeah. It's great stuff. Lucky the Bookie says, Lucky the Bookie is here. All right, Lucky the Bookie. Give us a pick for today. Good afternoon, Big O. Sharif West is chiming in. Mitchell Torres says, long-time listener, first-time chatter. Been calling in, talking soccer for years. From 560 to 790, happy to see you in a Striker shirt. When can we get you in a CIMF or Miami Beach CF shirt? Mitchell, whenever you want, bro. Whenever you want. Let's talk. Send me a shirt. Send 2, because there's 2 people in the show. So,
Thanks, so.
So you got to, 2 extra larges, okay? Mitchell, 2 extra larges. You can send me on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. Send us the address. We'll go by. We'll talk. Who knows? Maybe the show goes out there and does something at the event. Let's see what else. Sharif says, I've been with you since Neil Rogers and the first team with the Fabulous Sports Babe late nights, my friend. Well, thank you, Sharif. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Crazy K is chiming in, says, would you give up the 5th, 18th, and 1st and 2nd next year for the number 1 pick? Yeah, exactly. I guess she wants to get the rise out of me on that one.
Some of our biggest hits are you going off.
Yes.
Going buck, bleep, wild. Okay?
Yes. People love the rants. They love the rants. All right, we got 1 hour down. We got a couple more to go here on the program. We love VSS West Pines. And whether it's Jose or Jason or Alex, I got to tell you, man, CBD is exploding, and you got to get quality CBD. Well, they've got the best there at VSS West Pines, highest quality. I wouldn't tell you it is, and I wouldn't take it myself if it wasn't, okay? So you can trust them at 12397 Pembroke Road, whether it's flower, tinctures, edibles, the women's face masks, the CBD topicals, the Salve for pain. They've got them all. And listen, when it comes to CBD, it helps with anxiety. It helps you sleep. It helps you in so many different ways with stress. There's so many different benefits from all of it. It makes you feel a lot better. Does not get you high, folks. Okay? It's no THC is in there. Okay? This is the medicinal side of it. That's what CBD is. It's not illegal, and there's many ways of ingesting it, from jelly beans to candy to ice cream to you can inhale it, you can smoke it, dab it, there's so many different ways. So that's why I'm telling you, tinctures, which you put under the tongue, all of that, so it goes directly into the blood system, and it helps. And they have it also for your pets. So if your cats and your dogs have a little anxiety, sometimes you want to have some close to you, because when there's a thunderstorm out there, you know how they freak out. There it is. July 4th rolls around, New Year's rolls around, everybody's firing off gunfire and fireworks, and they're nervous, CBD calms them down, all of that kind of stuff. Maybe your dog's a little too hyperactive, mellows them out, doesn't get them high, mellows them out. Also helps with their bones and their structure, all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of beneficial things that come from CBD. That's why I'm telling you want to go to 12397 Pembroke Road. Visit them on Instagram and Facebook at VSS West Pines.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back here, ready to rock and roll. Jenna Lane will be joining us at the bottom of the hour at 12:30. We will talk a little Bucks with Jenna Lane from ESPN. Follow her on Twitter at Jenna Lane ESPN. At 1:30, Tony Jones, Jazz beat writer for The Athletic, will be joining us. At 2 o'clock, it'll be Michelle Kaufman with our Inter-Miami report. There you go. And I am planning, by the way, which I see where Mitchell was watching, we are planning some expansions to all of this. So there's some stuff that we got brewing that we'll be able to do very soon. So I'm telling you, a lot of really good stuff has happened the last, I would say, week here for yours truly. And we're going to be able to do some other stuff that is going to expand. So hang in there with us. A lot of good stuff happening. And again, if you want to be a proud sponsor of our program, you can reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105, not only to send in your comments or anything along those lines, because you could do that. We'll read your questions and comments there on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Of course, you can chime in on the chat board there, which is good. And Mitchell says, let's get it done. Miami Beach CF kicks off March 7th at Flamingo Park. And we'll get the shirts to you. Take a look at the IG for Miami Beach CF and let me know if you want the green, white, or black. Nice. Okay, we will check it out. We will check it out. Monaco says the guy is higher than Laramie Tunsil's gas mask. You might want to hang out with Channing Crowder. Who's that? I don't know who he's talking about. Let's see. Crazy K says, what up? Just wanted to see what the chatter would be to give up done chasing QBs. Yeah, no, that's a wasted talk. I know Miami is working with Greer and Flores with the process that they both love Fitzmagic. This tells me no top 70th pick goes to a QB. Chan Gailey confirmed this for me. There you go. Mike Monaco, this chick from the Bucks, is she hot? If so, give her my handle, Big O. All right, Mike. We're not having Jenna Lane on or anybody because they're hot. Okay? We have Jenna Lane on because she's competent, because she does a good job, because she's a good reporter. You guys, man, I tell you.
Your agent again. Would it be safe to assume if it's a hot chick, more than likely, there's the possibility of that's what it's about and the substance is not good?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes. Usually that's probably what it is,
We're not saying that hot girls can't be competent and have substance. We're not saying that. Not saying that at all.
No, I'm just saying, but I know what you're saying, that, a lot of people that do the looks thing, they're not really going for the substance. I get it. But no, we are bringing on Jenna Lane because I respect her, because she does a good job. Okay? That's it. And you will see why she does a good job. It's a beautiful thing. All right? So just like Michelle Kaufman, we bring her on because she does a great job, just like Jenna Lane. All right? It's about substance here on the program. That's what we want.
Little announcement.
What's that?
We are officially 35 days away. It is March 18th at 4 p.m. that free agency starts for the 2020 NFL season.
Yeah.
35 days out.
Yep, no doubt. And with, having said that, with free agency, let me get into a little bit of what the Dolphins, because a lot of you out there, you've asked me, well, what should the Dolphins do in free agency? Should they spend money? Because a lot of you out there, you have this Mike Tannenbaum disease, and it's a bad disease, I got to tell you, because you expect sometimes that free agency is going to be the panacea, and That's it. You're going to be a good team when it's all said and done because that solves all your problems. And normally it does not. Free agency usually is a detriment to your team because you're usually overpaying for an older player that is past his prime and not ready to perform at the way you need. And he's kind of in a crossroad where it could just get worse than what it was the year before. Or you think he had a down year because he had an injury, this and that, and then he's going to get the magic back like Josh Sitton and did not. You know what I mean? And so that's why I would say that when it comes to free agency, the Dolphins have to be super smart in free agency. Not cheap, not lazy, but smart. And what I mean by that is, and I've been telling you this for a while now, if you have an opportunity to sign a young free agent, you go for it and you try to bring on that young free agent because that young free agent will have an opportunity to live out that contract that you're about to sign him to. Because usually with good free agents, you have to give them a lot of money up front. And that signing bonus is a detriment to your team. Now, Miami has a lot of cap space. I understand that. But you don't want to just throw it away. So I figured I'd make a list of a couple of free agents. Now, I don't want to get too crazy about this subject, and I've kind of stayed away from it. Why, ladies and gentlemen? We have not figured out yet who is, because some of these guys that I'm going to mention still could re-sign with their teams. And then I'm wasted my time talking about them. Okay? Now, I'm not going to waste my time talking about old free agents because I don't believe the Dolphins should go after old free agents. And if they do sign an older free agent, a 29, 30, 31, 32-year-old, it has to be a 1 or a 2-year deal. That way you're not giving away a big signing bonus, and it's a contract you can get in and out of right away. These 4 or 5-year deals with giant signing bonuses, you can't unload them, man. And there's a couple of those contracts right now in the NFL, and teams want to unload the guy, and they can't unload the guy, Johnson in Arizona, because they paid him a whole boatload of money. You know, the running back, they paid him a whole boatload of money, and they can't let him go, and they're dying to let him go. And they have to hang on another year because of the cap hit. You can't do that. Now, in their case, they got burned by their own guy that became, a health issue and all that, and it's not because he's old. That was your own guy, but you got burned on it. Now, the Dolphins over the years have been burned a lot with bad free agents. The Niners have limited cap space. They got a kid that's 26 years old in Arik Armstead. He's an unrestricted free agent who had 10 sacks last year. If Miami is looking for a young pass rusher, that's the kind of guy you sign. He's 26. You give him a 4 or 5-year deal, he can live it out to 30. And not bad, as long as he stays healthy, all of that. But Armstead's one of those guys that because San Francisco has to re-sign several guys, and they can't pay everybody, maybe you can steal Armstead from the San Francisco 49ers. And he's not restricted, so then they can tag him, and then you have to then, trade for him and pay him. No, you don't want to do that. You want to get a guy that's outright and unrestricted. Now, they may end up tagging him, and then that becomes a problem for the Dolphins because then now you've got to give up picks and money. You don't do that. You go draft your defensive end then. I'll give you another guy, 27 years old from Tampa Bay, Shaquille Barrett, unrestricted free agent. Another guy at defensive end that they can get. That's a move that makes a lot of sense. I'll give you another guy. They need help at the offensive line, right? Jack Conklin. They got to pay Derrick Henry and and Ryan Tannehill.
Say his name.
And Ryan Tannehill.
You just can't get over that, man.
No, because they're gonna give that guy like $25 million.
You'll be driving down the road, you need to chuckle, and you just think Tennessee's gonna re-sign Danny Kill.
I just love it, man. I hope Miami runs into Tennessee in the playoffs. Anyway, so Tannehill, you got to pay Derrick Henry and Tannehill. But if you don't sign Conklin, those other guys aren't going to play that well. But anyway, I'm just saying they've got a lot of things that they've got to re-sign. Conklin's 26. Now, they could tag him, and again, I could be wasting my time. But I wanted to give you guys examples. Like Anthony Costanzo, who's 32, I think it is an unrestricted free agent. No, you don't sign him. Oh, and by the way, he also was contemplating retirement. Definitely not. All right? Those are the examples you stay away from. Costanzo, you could probably get a good year out of him or two. Maybe. At 32, you might be able to get 1 more or 2 years out of him. But you're risking it. And, I don't know what kind of money. He's already thought about retirement. So he's had 1 foot out the door. I don't want anybody that's already thinking about retirement. And I don't want anybody at 32 either. You want to build. So if I give you a 26-year-old, a 27-year-old, those are guys that you can build on. Anthony Harris, safety for Minnesota, had 6 interceptions at the strong safety spot. He's 28 years old, made $3 million last year. Minnesota has got a lot of people that they've got to pay. Plus that quarterback really screwed them up. You know what I'm saying? And that might be a guy that you don't have to break the bank necessarily, but might be able to help you because if he's got 6 interceptions, he must have some cover skills. And what have we talked about throughout the year? It seems to me like in their safety positions, they like guys that have some cover skills. Maybe Anthony Harris is a guy. 28, that's almost on the brink that I would stay away from, but you could give him maybe a 2-3 year deal. Because, again, this is a guy that signed a 1-year deal and had a good year. So I don't think he can go out and ask for the world.
You know what? Isn't he the one that was in arguments the couple games we saw with the other safety about blown coverage and stuff like that?
Might have been.
There were some issues.
Yeah.
And they had to, come over and calm him down and all that,
So Yannick Gakov or what, Ngakov or whatever from the Jags. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Don't have to worry about it unless he becomes a Dolphin. He's
did a really good job of butchering it.
We tried. He's 25 years old, and he's an unrestricted free agent that made $2.2 million last year, coming off 8 sacks, 41 tackles, and 4 forced fumbles. 25 years old. These are the kind of players that I want the Miami Dolphins to chase. Because these are the kind of players that you can actually build on. That's the kind of player that you spend that money on. Because that's smart. Now, any deal can go awry. Any guy can suffer injuries. I get it. But if you want to sign that 30, that 31-year-old, that 32-year-old to a long-term contract that's not realistic, that he's not going to live up to it, or that he had some injury history and you're hoping that now he stays healthy, all that kind of craziness, I've seen the Dolphins go through that, and that doesn't help. Those older players, like I've repeated over and over again, those are the ones you sign to a 1 or 2 year deal. If you can't sign an older player to a 1 or 2 year deal, then you move on. But what you cannot do is give multi-year deals to these older players. The young players, I don't mind you trying to sign those guys if they fit your scheme, okay? If you think that they can play in your system, as long as they're young, those are the guys that you've got to target if you're the Dolphins. Okay? Now, again, I might have wasted my time talking about some of these guys because they could end up getting the tag and whatever, and, it is what it is. We're not there yet. But we'll find out soon enough. We'll get to the point that we'll know, who's going to be really available and who's not going to be available, and then that way we can kind of, really get a gauge for what direction the Dolphins should go in. But I wanted to give you like examples, specific examples of players that, age and position that they could go after. Let me see what we got here because we got a bunch of texts that are coming in. Let's see. Big O, my dad used to take me to Strikers games as a kid. Love that jersey, 420 Fuego. Thank you, sir. Light it up in my honor. Coughlin, Guard, Armstead, I would have a visit, and that's it. I would pay them. Okay. Wow. Make trying Tom make a love connection, I see. What? Huh? Armstead DT. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. You know what I mean. Mad Dog, true. I don't know. What does that mean, Mad Dog? Why you sending true? Let's see. Dominic says in free agency, I would go guard. Oh, at guard Byron Jones at CB. Oh, Tunney at guard, Byron Jones at CB. Byron Jones, he's overrated, bro. That guy doesn't intercept anything. I don't know, man. I'm not that big. I think Byron Jones is a little overrated. And Clowney, yeah, you Dominic, you and I are completely off there. Yeah, I like it. You want the old guys. Yeah, I'm done with that. I'm glad, Dominic. I'm glad you're not in anywhere near the Dolphins front office, my brother. Mike Monaco says Barrett is going to get tagged. Again, I would not be surprised if Shaquille gets tagged, but I just wanted to mention the kind of guys that they go after. Again, that's why I prefaced that some of these guys are going to get tagged, and then we're screwed. But those are the guys that I would go after. Let's see. Well, Dominic then follows up, I agree with you. Oh, anyone over 30 or longer, no 2-year deal. But why did you say that you would go after the older players then? I don't get it. You're confusing me, Dominic. Let's see. Sharif says, I think Van Ginkel, Beasley are prospective rushers, or Beasley. Who are you thinking of for the Dolphins? I know the Van Ginkel one. Beasley. Trying to think of, did you spell it right? Because I'm confused right now. The Dolphins are going to invest on offense and draft defense. It's clear. I don't think that's clear at all. I think they will do what they can and get the best players available that they can in free agency or in the draft. Elder Bruce Jones says, what's good, Big O? What do you think about the rumors Miami trying to move up to 2 or 3 in the draft? I don't believe any of them. Okay? I don't believe there's any trade for the first pick. I don't believe that they're moving up to number 3. I don't believe any of that. Okay? But if you guys want to, go to Barstool and read that kind of stuff, then, knock yourselves out, man. What can I tell you?
Let me ask you a question because I was just thinking about this. Like the guy, the quarterback, Hill from New Orleans. He's 30 years old, but he's only been in the league 3 years,
right.
Meaning he's only got 3 years of wear and tear, not the usual 9
right.
At this point.
Yes.
Do you make it a little bit of an exception for a guy that like maybe did military, blah, whatever reason, you got into the league at 26, 27 years old? Do you make a little bit of exception on the age thing?
Well, what are you signing Taysom Hill for?
I'm not talking Hill. I'm creating the scenario of the age factor.
I mean,
if the guy's 30, but he's only been in the league for 3 years,
how many cases of that exist?
No,
but it's a waste of time what you just said. There's only one guy like that in the entire NFL. It's not like they've got 10 guys in free agency like that. That's not even a conversation to have because that's not something common. It's not normal. It's completely abnormal. He's the only guy out of whatever there is in the league, 1,200 players or whatever a crazy-ass number. So that's not a scenario you even think about.
What about a guy from the Canadian Football League?
Well, you can do that, but he's playing in the Canadian Football League. There's a reason why. Usually you get him young like they did with Mark Dixon, like they did with Cam Wake.
Yep.
They've always gotten him young because they failed in the NFL on draft day.
You develop at some point,
Right.
not late.
Right. They did not develop late in the CFL. They developed early in the CFL, and they're in their mid-20s, and then now they're facing free agency.
Warren Moon.
Right, whatever. All those guys. All those guys came from the CFL at a young age. So that's when you get them. But older guys, you got to stay away from them. And Taysom Hill wants to be a quarterback.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I sure I can. I can believe it. Not that I would do it, but yeah, I can.
13 passes.
Yeah, right. And the question I ask, because it's been written about Taysom Hill, that, well, maybe they'll consider him long-term as Breeze comes back for one more year and then retires. But if that was the case, why did you play Teddy Bridgewater when he went down with injury? And Taysom Hill is a nice gimmick guy. I don't see him as an every down quarterback. And he may want to play quarterback, but I would never sign that guy as I might be wrong. Maybe he is a real quarterback when it's all said and done. And if he is at his age, it's not a bad investment because quarterbacks aren't that old at that age. You know, you can play 5, 6, 7 more years if you're 30, 31 at quarterback. But I don't know. I don't know enough about that guy. I just know him as a gimmick. I know him as a hell of an athlete that you can plug around in different spots. That you can do. Now, I'm sure he wants to play quarterback because at his age, he's not going to be able to continue to do what he's doing. Blocking punts, catching passes, running, throwing. Eventually, that athleticism will dry out. I don't care how much football or how little football you've played. You're 30. Father Time's catching up, baby. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to slow down as you get older. So that will be an issue for him. No doubt in my mind.
If I had to guess, the factor with the guy from the Buffalo, the guy Lamar Jackson, the fact that all these running quarterbacks are succeeding, that like I can do that. I'm one of the fastest guys on the team.
Right. And that's probably where New Orleans is thinking, that if they use him, they're going to use him because he's got the athleticism, whereas Teddy Bridgewater does not have any athleticism pretty much. He's a pure pocket passer, okay? He's one of those guys that is not going to be running away from anybody whatsoever. Teddy Bridgewater and Tom Brady are kind of the same athlete, or lack thereof, however you want to look at it.
We need to take a break.
Beagle, Vince Beagle. Ah, okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I like Vince Beagle. But again, that's kind of a situational guy too. Okay?
We need a break. Jenna,
Okay.
please.
Don't fall in love with practice squad guys. We need upgrades all across the board. Big O, I agree with your free agent evaluation. Just because you have the cash, you shouldn't be foolish with it. At the end of the day, I think I might just pass on all these top QBs and draft a project. Byron Jones doesn't get interceptions because no one throws his way. He's versatile. He can play safety and CB. Well, they moved him now to CB. So he's now a CB. I just think I think he's overrated, bro. I'm not the big Byron Jones guy. Random question. Is there a modern version of Evel Knievel? I told my young nephew about him, and he thought it was a joke. Now he's sharing his vids with everybody. No, there are no Evel Knievel. Junior is the only one. Robbie Knievel is the only one that picked it up, and that's it.
There's the guy that did the Red Bull, that copied the Evel Knievel jumps.
Oh,
remember?
yes, on the fountains.
The Red Bull guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember. God.
Yeah, there might be a guy out there, I guess.
It's the
He's
Red
right.
Bull. He did the exact same jumps that Evel Knievel.
Right. It's a Red Bull promotion type thing.
And wore the classic red, white, and blue with his head. Looks.
Yep. So that you can, maybe there's a guy there, but there's nobody like Knievel, bro. You know, Knievel was the guy. All right, Jenna Lane is the woman on the Bucks beat. She's next.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily.